Hey and welcome. Kimberly Castleberry here with JustAskKim.com. And today I want to introduce you to how I use a free tool known as Zemanta in order to allow me to find relevant and related content to link to from my content and my posts. Now, while I do not use Zemanta in its fullest extent, while I do not use all of its tools, and there's reasons for that in my own choice, I depend on using certain tools that it has to let me find posts by friends and colleagues very easily that are related to what I've wrote. This saves me a lot of time going through Google search, going through Google Reader, trying to find stuff related to what I've wrote. And it's that challenge of finding that content that is oftentimes why we don't link out to other people. And today, with all of the changes that we've seen to the Google algorithms, with the pandas and now the pigeons and the penguins and who knows what else, they got a whole zoo over there in Google. It becomes more and more important that we are linking to related content outside of our own site. Now, we still want to link to our own content. We still want to be doing interlinking. If you're not doing interlinking, you're missing a big piece of the SEO puzzle. And that is linking your old post to your new post to your old post, going back and forth so that the spiders get through your entire site and all of your site is seen as still current. But linking to outside content helps improve our SEO relevancy for that post. It helps prove that that post is about what we say it is, because obviously we're linking to content about that. And it also helps the other bloggers. So when you're doing it for other people, people are more likely to do it for you, and you're more likely to start getting editorial backlinks. You're more likely to start getting valid trackbacks. You're more likely to get people to start sending you traffic because you're sending them traffic. And that helps relieve some of the fear of letting some of our traffic flow off of our site and letting some of, that link juice flow. It really becomes, we've got to look out for each other out here, particularly as small and micro-based businesses. We really need to be paying attention that we are taking care of our neighbors and letting our neighbors take care of us and working in that dynamic, because if we don't, if we try to live in a sandbox and not interlink out to other related sites, Google's going to see that and punish it. They've been pretty severe with that in the last calculation. Now, there are some calculations going on at the moment that I think they're going to adjust. I think they overreached just a little in this last change, but that does not change that I've been working with the relevancy model for about 4 months now. And while I do not suggest the WordPress plugin that is roaming around, I do suggest that you learn the concept behind relevancy and behind interlinking to related content. So here I have up on my screen the Zemanta homepage, and it's spelled Z-E-M-A-N-T-A, or Z, as my Australian friends would remind me. And this is either a WordPress plugin or a browser plugin. I've used it both ways. It can be a little fussy as a browser plugin just in terms of getting the box to stay where it belongs, but it won't contribute to the site speeds and the site load the same way it will if it's a plugin. Now, I'll admit that I depend on this plugin so much and that I use it all the time, and that I've double-checked its performance, that I actually use it as a browser plugin. That's pretty rare for me. I run less than 30 plugins at this time, substantially less. I'm really picky about what I run, and this plugin has been optimized to only run on the pages it belongs on, so it doesn't affect the reader. It does not affect the main front end of the blog. It only affects the stuff in the admin as we're working to edit posts and pages. So you can use it either way you want, either as a browser add-on or as a plugin. It's going to function the same for you, okay? So however you use it, it's going to work the same. Click Get It Free, or Get It Free twice. Agree to it. You're going to go to the page for your particular browser. It's available for Chrome. It's available for Firefox. I think it's even available for Safari. You're going to need to agree to the terms so that you say you're going to behave, and just various stuff, and that you accept the responsibility. It's got to be understood, because you are agreeing that you're linking out to this other stuff, and you've got to realize that it's you doing it, even if the plugin is assisting with that. Makes sense. Not a big deal. Read it through for good legal practice if you wish. Have your lawyer review it, whatever. I'm going to come back and I'm going to take you up to my WordPress site. And here I'm going to go to add a new post. And we're going to open up a new post. And what we're going to see here in a moment, as soon as it loads, is that on this right-hand side, I have a content recommendations powered by Zemanta. And I need to be in the visual editor for this to work. Okay, if you're writing code in the HTML side, you're still going to need to come over to the visual to get this particular tool to work. And it says, you know, you need to get started writing. You have to write something so it has something to work with. And so what I'm going to do just to get us started, because I don't want to let you sit through me writing a post, is I'm just going to put in a portion of an email that I've been working about Pinterest. And so I'm going to put a quick title in there, and I'm just going to paste this content in. Doesn't really matter what the content is, except that it gives it enough words to work with. And you'll see now that the right-hand side has now refreshed, and I have 3 tabs. I have the Zemanta tab, which is all sites that are in the Zemanta index. And I suggest that you're going to add your blog to the Zemanta index because you're going to want it to be available for Zemanta to crawl through and suggest your links to other Zemanta users. The next one is My Source, and I'll go to that in a moment. And then the third is to Preferences. And so what I'll see in the Zemanta tab here is, besides the search box, which we'll come back to that because that's really important, is this drop down, and I see that there are a lot of posts here that have been returned that are about Zemanta. And that a lot of them are reasonably well-respected sites, but there are some that I've never heard of as well. And I can scroll through these and I can see if there's anything that looks like I would like to use it. Now let's just say I'm looking at this post by Mashable. If I put my cursor over it, I see that it gives me a dropout with its little description and its title, and the link here will actually open the post. And I always suggest you go to these posts, open them up, and give them a read. The goal here is to find related content, right? That's going to be useful to the reader, that's going to be helpful to everyone. So open the post up, go and read it. Then come back, and you have a couple options. You can either use Zemanta to insert either the text or the article with an image, or you can simply get the link while you're out there. Here, let me get on this post, open this post, and here I am, and I'm in the Mashable post, and I'm going to copy that URL. And I'm going to come back, and now I could, you know, highlight over this, and I could put this link in here somewhere. Okay? Or I could write something or whatever you wanted to do with the link. But you now have the link, and you have it coming to your dashboard of what posts are related to your content. Well, that's awesome if you're looking for if you're looking for Mashable, or if you're looking for blogs you've never met, or if you're looking for, you know, just what's out on the web. But me personally, I'm pretty particular about who I link to, and I like to favor linking to people that are my colleagues, linking to people that are in my industry, but that are not the Mashables of the industry. Let's be honest, Mashable gets a lot of backlinks a day. They don't need mine, okay? A friend blogger who's got a good post probably doesn't get as much traffic as Mashable does, may have better content, in fact often does, and would actually benefit more from that backlink. So I can benefit myself, my reader, and my friend by linking to them rather than to Mashable. But how do I find this? The trick to that is to come over to the Preferences tab. This is going to open up here a little window, and when that loads, you're going to need to make an account. Okay, you're going to need to create an account so you can sign in. And if you need help, just click the Need Help, and it'll take you out to where to do that. I'm going to sign into this, but you'll need to make that account. It's totally free, not a big deal. Then you come in here, and this is the overview pane. And this tells me that they have my email, that they have one of my blogs in their records. Again, you add your blog here if they don't already have it. I suggest you do that, and it can take some time before they get it indexed. It also, we're going to add some sources today, and it can be 2 weeks to 3 weeks before the sources start returning correctly. So I suggest you go ahead and do this because this becomes a better resource over time. We see they also have my Amazon affiliate ID. Now I'm in a state that my Amazon affiliate ID no longer works. Amazon took that away. I haven't taken it out of here, but I don't use that portion of the Zemanta tool, so it's not a big deal. If you're an Amazon affiliate, this is something you're going to want. Then I have 115 sources that are added. Now, sources are the feed URLs of bloggers that we would like to link to, and we'd like to see their content, and we'd like to see what they have going on. This is a collection of my friends, my colleagues, and I also took this year's top commentators, my top 10 or top 20, I guess it was my top 10, and I added them in here as well, because that enabled me that if they wrote something that was relevant to stuff I was writing, to be able to quickly find that, and hopefully they'd get some backlinks out of the deal too. You know, I can't promise them anything. I don't know that they'll write on things that I'm writing about, but if they did, I wanted them to be in there so that I could reward them that way. I'm going to come here on the left to sources, and sources will open up, and here we just put in a feed URL, and you want to get the feed URL for any site you're visiting. If it's a WordPress site, generally you'll have the domain.com/feed. They might have a FeedBurner feed or something else linked from their icon. Look at your little browser, little RSS icon, and see what you come up with. Bring their feedback in here, put it in add, click add, and then you'll see it added to this list. And I have these as active, and I can mark these as inactive if I want to temporarily disable some of them. Maybe somebody's got something strange going on with the site, I'm just not liking the results it's returning. I can either deactivate it or I can remove it. I don't go through this a whole lot except when somebody changes their blog URL, and when they do, then I remove their old URL and I add their new URL. It does not auto update, but it will keep up with the blogs as long as I have the stuff in here. It's really, really simple to use. And if you've got a file in Google Reader of the blogs that you would like to use, you can do an export from Google Reader in this OPML file type. I know that sounds scary, but it's just an RSS reader file type. And you can bring it, you can import it right here, and it'll pull them all right in for you. It's terribly simple. And here we have a list for blogs that we actually write at, so you're going to put yours in here and have it as active. If you guest author on other blogs, you may choose to put them in there as well. I have some other settings, but nothing I need to go over now, and I'm going to ensure that that is all done, and then I'm going to close that. And so now it's going to tell me I need to reload this. So I'm going to click the got it and let it reload. And I am going to now come over to the My Sources tab. And now I can see that I don't have a lot that came up, but I did have a couple that's a reader. You know, that's Eileen Smith, that's Beth Hewitt. There's Gail at GrowMap. There's the WeBlog Tools collection. There's Mitch's blog. There's WP Mods. I've got a lot of WordPress blogs in here. And there's Karen's blog. And so I now see blogs on related content by bloggers that I want to be linking to. And so this is incredibly handy. The same concept opens. I hover over it. It says, you know, what it's the stuff, I insert or whatever, and I can open it up and go read the post. And here it is right in my dashboard. This is free. This is super easy to use, and you're really gonna benefit from using this. Now, I will say that if you use their click tools to insert the image, it's going to add the little Zemanta footer link to the bottom of the post. I don't personally care for that. But then again, I don't use their tools quite the way it was designed. I do a lot of manual linking, so I don't tend to end up with that footer on my post. Not a big deal, just something to be aware of. The other thing is if I scroll down, they will suggest tags for the post. Now, I rarely use all the tags they suggest, and I often use tags they don't suggest, but sometimes it's nice to have some prompts of what tags might be relevant to this post. And this can really help with, you know, different ideas. Also, if I come over here, you can see it says no in-text links found. There also will be prompts here of different other things that you can link in. Again, I rarely use these, but a lot of people do. They might be relevant, so you might want to check them out. And I also have, and I have it disabled, I believe. There's also an images tab, an images option, where you can find correctly licensed images that you can use in your posts under Creative Commons, and it will add them to the post and add them with the correct linking to keep you compliant with the law. Okay, this is a great way to find images that you are actually allowed to use rather than sniping images from places like Google Image Search, which can get you in a lot of legal trouble. And so this can be a great way to find some images for your blog. Now, me personally, I still create most of my own images, and I still buy most of my most of my other images. I use royalty-free licensing that allows me to use them for commercial use, so I'm not mandated in order to use them on my blog. And then even if they are royalty-free, I still come down to the bottom of the post and I do image source, and I may do rf123. I guess it's 123rf.com. And I just write it like that, and that tells people where I got my image from. It's not so much them wanting to go get my image as it is me needing to confirm that I did not steal my images, that my images are correctly licensed, enabled for commercial use, and that I'm being 100% above board. If you're not making sure that people know where your images are coming from, people are going to hesitate to link to you. In fact, many people will not link to you from bigger blogs if you do not correctly cite your images, correctly cite all your sources, and include a terms and conditions, privacy policy, and affiliate disclosure if you require it on your site. So if you are not meeting the Google requirements and the FTC requirements for above board practice, you're probably not going to get linked to the way you'd like to be. So ensure you got those things going on. Oh yeah, and a contact form. I cover that in another video, but yeah, get a contact form if you don't have one. That way people can let you know if there's something going on with your site. All right, we've gone a little long, but I really want you to check out Zemanta. I really think that it's going to make a difference for you as you interlink to other bloggers to help you maintain relevancy. It's also going to help you create a stronger network of friends and associates, of people taking care of each other. That's going to help you get through these times when Google has an instability or when Google has an algorithm that incorrectly hurts people it shouldn't. It's going to help you bridge to have natural, organic natural referral traffic coming in beyond just SEO traffic. If you're leaning too heavy on SEO, you're really going to feel every time Google has a hiccup. So be sure that you're building referral traffic as well. All right, I hope you enjoyed this tip. Be sure to check out Zemanta. Leave me some questions and thoughts in the comments below. Let me know if you're using Zemanta on your site, and let me know, how you're using it, or if you have any other tips I might have missed. My name is Brink-Castleberry, and I'll see you in the next video.